everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to check out the Hornet King channel. In this video, I'll be removing a super aggressive subterranean yellow jacket species, Vespula, squamosa, or southern yellow jacket. Here's the video, check it out. Alright, so as I mentioned, this is actually Vespula squamosa, which is a southern yellow jacket colony. And southern yellow jackets are by far the most aggressive species that I deal with doing wasp nest removals. And what makes them so aggressive is how relentless they are when they attack. So they might have the same amount of numbers as other species of yellow jackets, but the amount of numbers that are coming out and swarming and staying latched onto you is what sets them apart from other species. So, like a bald-faced hornet being a semi-aggressive species, they will at least just dive bomb. They don't latch onto you and relentlessly don't let go, as opposed to southern yellow jackets. When they latch on, there isn't anything that stops them from latching on. Like, they will continue to sting and sting and sting and bite, like this one here. So when I do a removal like this, whenever I know that they're southern yellow jackets, I kind of have to like psych myself up specifically, like, and really pay attention to what I'm doing. And I do use a little bit more of the flying insect spray than what I do with other removals, just because as the swarm starts getting more and more intense, I like to just kind of batten down the numbers with the flying insect spray, because look here, I mean, look at all the adults flying out of this thing. And they're flying past the nozzle, and so not a lot of them are getting sucked up right away. It just means that they're going to swarm around before they fly back to the entranceway to be sucked up. You can actually see that there's the Air Force and the Army here. The Air Force being the yellow jackets, and the Army or the ground force being the ants. So there was an ant colony in this wood too. When I lifted up those boards, they started swarming just as much as the yellow jackets. So by the time I was done here, I had ants all over my pants too. So you can see the amount of swarm that's going on here. I mean, they were just all over the place. They were latched onto my legs, my hands. Of course, they were on the vacuum. So I just kind of spent a lot of time getting as much of these adults out of the nest as possible. And like I said, for the most part, they fly around and fly back to the nozzle or back to the nest and then get sucked up. But the ones that are still swarming around kind of, you know, non-stop, I just spray a little bit of the flying insect spray into the air. They fly through it, get them on them, and then they drop down. I suck them up then. So you can kind of see right where the nozzle is, there's stacks of pebbles. Those are the pebbles that were inside the soil that the wasp could not carry away. So they drag them out of the hole, and then they just drop them there on that piece of wood, which is pretty cool to see. Not a lot of the species do that. Southern yellow jackets are one of the few that actually carry the stones out. A lot of the other ones will kind of just let them lay down at the bottom of the pit. Southern yellow jackets, their pheromone marker also smells just like maple syrup. So there's a couple identifiers to southern yellow jackets that you can tell that it's them and not other species, because there are 150 different yellow jacket species that we know of. So what kind of sets these guys apart, like the 20-some different yellow jacket species that I deal with here up in PA, they're the only ones that have the pheromone marker that smells like maple syrup. Other pheromone markers will smell, they kind of like a sweet chemical smell, but I mean, it is indistinguishable from maple syrup the way the southern yellow jacket's pheromone smells. As far as their sting is concerned, I haven't noticed any difference in the sting as far as whether or not how much it hurts compared to others. Bald-faced hornets don't hurt as bad as people make them out to be. They do hurt, but they don't hurt more than southern yellow jackets. I actually find that the smaller yellow jackets hurt more than the larger yellow jacket species. So like I said, this isn't a massive nest, but it's a good size as far as the colony is concerned, because I mean, you see all the adults that are flying around me. I mean, it was pretty much packed with a population of probably close to 1,000. And the paper in it was gorgeous. It had like these little red stripes in it. And right here you can see the queen, or a queen. There were already several queens that were hatched out of this colony. There's one there, and there's one down here on the decking. One crawling out of the side. So there's a good amount of queens at the bottom of the hole too. So how that works is there's one queen that I call the queen mother, and she's the one that founds the colony. And then over the course of the season, the queen will lay new eggs into larger cells that the workers made, which we call queen cells. So queen cells aren't anything special other than the fact they're a little bit larger in diameter and a little bit deeper to allow for a larger wasp to develop inside. So as the queen lays into these larger cells, those larvae start growing more, and they start demanding more food because they're larger larvae. And as they eat more, they develop more, and that slight difference in size in the cell allows them to develop their reproductive parts. So now that I got the nest out, I kind of just leave the comb sitting there on that decking, and that'll allow any ones that are flying around kind of like go back to that spot, and they'll be easy to suck up. You see all the pebbles and things at the bottom of this hole, so as the workers are excavating out the soil, the stones that they can't carry get collected down to the bottom of the pit, and they'll undermine underneath of that. The client's daughters were watching, 2 younger kids, and so they were very interested in what I was going to do, so I wanted to make sure I went over and showed them the nest. They were watching on their back patio inside. So once I collect up all the comb and things, then I'll put that in the bin. Turned off the vacuum so that way I could show the kids a queen. I just wanted to show them what that looked like, the differences. So pop open the vacuum, and this isn't a problem because pretty much when they hit the baffle inside the vacuum, due to the G-force, it pretty much kills them right off, right as soon as they enter in. So opening up the vacuum at this point isn't a problem. So this is the nest. Pretty decent size, pretty heavy because of all the larvae that were inside of it. Like I said, it might not be massive as far as size is concerned, but there are a lot of hatched adults. So I'm just letting the nozzle of the vacuum sit there and just suck up ones that are coming back to the original entranceway. And what I end up doing is I actually put the wood back to how it was initially, and that will kind of create a familiarity for them. And then as the foragers and things are flying back, they'll see that as the original entranceway, and I'll hold the nozzle there and just suck them up as they come back. So down inside here, you can see that there are a lot of adults underneath these pebble piles. So I kind of just take a stick and I pull the soil out and expose that hole that I can get them out of and vacuum them up. There's quite a few queens down there, but there's also some males and even some excavator workers down there too. So just taking the time to vacuum up as many of the ones down inside the hole as possible. So like I said, putting the wood back in the same spot that it was that I pulled it out from, so that way I can kind of try to make it look like how it did before I got there. So that way any ones that are swarming around will see that as kind of the norm for them, and then just leave the vacuum nozzle there to suck up the ones going back to what they think is the entranceway. So I just sit back and let this do this for about 5 minutes or so, and then just hit some more spray. This client had another nest for me to take care of, so I just kind of let this settle down, went and removed the other nest, and then came back and hit this one more time with the vacuum. So as usual, I bring my nests home and feed them to my girls, which I have 5 chickens and a turkey, and plus the squirrel, Humphrey. You see all the queens here at the top of the cells. And the turkey going to town on it. So.
Southern yellow jacket queen. Distinct orange. Squeak, squeak. Turkey. Cheepy deep. Cheepy deepy deepy deep. Good squirrely squirrel. Chase that turkey. Chase that pesky turkey. Hey boss, what am I do you? Hey Junior!
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to check out the Hornet King channel. If you guys enjoyed this content, drop in the comments, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for future videos or something you'd like to see me cover in an upcoming video, also drop in the comments, let me know. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and if you'd like to, hit the bell notification down below, and that way you guys get an update anytime I do post a video. Alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to check out this video and supporting my channel, and I'll catch you on the next video.